Yeah. Yeah. Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson. Label line with the tweets. Follow me back to my nest. Label line with the podcast. Teach you lesson cause I got class. Label line with the impact. You be lying, that's a real fact. Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson. Label line with the tweets. Follow me back to my nest. Label line with
Hi guys, I'm Liveline, a podcasting pioneer, marketer, content creator, strategist, and someone who's just recently decided to go on a weight loss and health journey. Welcome to my YouTube channel called The Lion Show, and this is where we're going to be having really exciting conversations about everything that's on our minds, but particularly relating to marketing, entrepreneurship, and weight loss and health, because those are the things that I really love. I've been known to talk really fast, so I'm gonna try slow down and really take my time having conversations with you and really exploring this world and this country that we live in and figuring out ways for us to navigate through them and succeed. Today I want to start this talk off with a topic that I really feel like we don't talk enough about as South African influencers or media particularly. And I think we don't talk about it enough or a lot because we're afraid of what people will say when we really confront this issue. And this is the issue of being invited to events as an influencer or as media and knowing how to navigate through that. I personally felt very frustrated this morning because I got invited to an event by a very well-known bank in South Africa. They're very powerful, they have a lot of money, and they invited me and a couple of other influencers in media to an event where they were launching their new integrated marketing campaign. In this campaign, they were showing us, an advert that they did and their new website and how they're going to transform digital in their business, etc., all those wonderful things that we always get shown. But I was very irritated with this event because I felt like they didn't really consider the role of the media or influencers when they were creating this event. It almost felt like we were being treated like numbers, like KPIs. And funnily enough, the whole event was about showing how that company is all about human beings, the human interaction. And it's all about taking you from feeling like a number to feeling like a human being. So from that perspective, they really failed. They really failed at making us, the influencers or the media, feel like we mattered at the event. And I think this goes to say at a lot of events and a lot of corporates, they like to invite influencers, they create some hashtag, and when you get there, it's like you're there and then so what? So I really think we really need to talk about how do I choose which events are good for me? How do I know what to say yes to and not to say no to? What should I expect? And on the flip side, if you are a South African corporate, a brand manager, marketing manager, social media manager, etc., how do you create events that make influencers want to really talk about what you're doing? I think this is very important because I think we're all losing each other and it's creating a lot of resentment between the two parties when we should actually be working together to make things work, because this is an ecosystem after all. It's an ecosystem. If I'm doing something wrong, it's going to affect the next person and so on and so forth. So we really need to create events that allow influencers and media to feel considered and not just to feel like KPIs. So I truly and firmly believe that when you create an event and you want to invite influencers or media to the event, you really need to have a strategy of what you want them to do there, how things are going to roll out, and how things are going to end. And the reason why this is important is because a lot of the time, and you'll be able to relate with me if you've ever been to an event that you've been invited to by a corporate, is that you kind of get there and you're like, okay, so what now? Okay, I'm sitting here and then so what, And for me personally, when I go to events, I think about 90% of them, could have been experiences I didn't have to be a part of, you know. They could have literally sent me the press pack and said, okay, please read about this, we'll pay you this much to tweet, and then I just tweet about whatever's in the press pack. Honestly, that's how I feel, because they didn't actually give me the experience of being at an event. It just felt like I was there, and they were like, okay, you'll make your own experience because you're an influencer, la-di-da-di-da, and like, that's not the way. So please, brand managers, marketing managers, PR people, social media people, if you invite influencers or media to your events, please make sure that you have created an experience for them so that they can also enjoy being there and have something to talk about on their social media pages. I mean, when you invite us to something and there's literally nothing to take a photo of, nothing really notable, then what is the point of having us there? So please have a purpose, create an experience for us so that we can enjoy the event and make it tweet, Instagram, Facebook worthy. And then another thing that I find really irritating about events is the hashtag. I feel like a lot of brand managers, marketing managers, etc. don't really think about the social media platform when they create the hashtag. So they'll usually give you this really long, often complicated or boring hashtag, and you're just like, but like, I don't want to tweet this. I really don't want to hashtag this on my profile because A, it's too long, B, I can't fit in everything that I want to fit in because of this hashtag, and C, it looks so formal that I don't think my viewers are going to really feel like this is a genuine message from me. So please guys, create hashtags that we can use, hashtags that make sense to our pages, hashtags that kind of transcend corporate and really become more about the culture of whatever it is you're endorsing. Something else that really gets to me is the way that the women who are front of house or the men who are front of house conduct themselves. So I'm talking about the girl you speak to when you are signing up or registering, or the person who you speak to when you are taking a pamphlet, or the people who are just in charge of making sure that everything is running smoothly. I usually find that these people are very antisocial, and they usually gravitate to the people who they like and who they have known for a long time. So it's no longer an event for all of the influencers who are invited, but it's rather an event for the people who know the PR person who's in charge, or who know the brand person in charge. And I just feel like that's so wrong, and that's a clumsy way to run an event. Whoever is front of house, whoever is in charge of making sure people are mingling and getting along, should be somebody with the emotional maturity to be able to make everybody feel like they matter, and somebody who's mature enough to know that this is a job and it's not about friendship. So they need to make everybody, and I mean everybody in the room, feel like they matter, because actually everybody in the room does matter. So I really wish that brand managers, marketing managers, PR people, etc. could really change their mindset when it comes to these events and understand that it is not about them. It is about the influencers and media that they invited. And if they keep those people happy, then they will have better KPIs and they will have a more successful event. Once again, I want to reiterate the fact that all of us need to be aware that it is not a competition. We are all working together to make each other successful in our own respective rights. So we really need to work together instead of being cliquey and petty and weird. I really hate that spaces tend to be like that. I mean, at the event that I was at this bank, there were girls who were wearing t-shirts with the bank name and logo on them, and I assumed these people were there to help, but they were all talking to each other, sitting with each other. So when you had questions to ask them, you felt like you were interrupting a group of friends having a conversation. It was a very unpleasant experience to be a part of. And now we talk about what you do as an influencer or media if you're invited to an event. How do you pick the event? Should you go, should you not go? Personally, I feel like you should go to any event that you feel where Sorry about that. I feel like you should go to any event where you feel like you can gain something. It can be knowledge, it can be a financial opportunity, it can be a networking opportunity. Whatever it feels that you can gain from that event, then you should go to that event. But also, don't go to so many events that people know you as the person who goes to events, and so when they invite you, they expect you to come, and they expect you to come for free. Really try to streamline the events that you attend so that there is an objective to all of it, and that you keep getting invited to the right kind of events and not just to every single event. That's very important in maintaining your value as an influencer or as media. And also try to be very objective. So by this I mean, don't try to have cliques and people who you support so you go to the events. Really go to the events that are strategically aligned to what you do. Trust me, the clique thing does not work in the long term. You want to be able to outgrow your friends if that's what you need to do. You want to be able to stand alone as a brand. So associating yourself with too many people and having cliques at every event is just not a long-term strategy. It can work right now, but in the long term, it just won't work. Be somebody who gets along with everybody, or be somebody who can, move through different spaces. I just really want to appeal to you, if you're an influencer or media, to not be afraid to speak out when you have been treated badly at an event, or when the event wasn't great and the experience sucked. Like, guys, seriously, if we don't speak out and say when events suck and say when we've been treated badly, nothing will ever change. And guess who loses out the most? You do. Because as an influencer, you are the most vulnerable person. You have the least influence in terms of financial influence and power when it comes to being able to talk to people who make decisions. So you really need to speak out strategically, of course. Like, don't just be mad and go on a rant, but actually speak your truth. Speak your truth and put it out there in a way that allows the brand or corporate to engage with you and do better. We've seen in cases like Sibumbanza versus Jameson that sometimes corporates just will not. They just will not come to the party and be better. And if that's the case, then you know what to do. You step away, but at least you've highlighted to everybody else what kind of brand that is, how they treat people, and hopefully that will have some kind of effect on their market share or something, I really believe that when we take a stand, big things can happen, and sometimes it may feel like we're not important enough, but trust me, our voices matter. If they didn't matter, they would not invite us there. So never be afraid to speak out, and also remember, your time is money, your time is precious. So if somebody is wasting your time at an event, leave. Show them with your actions what you mean, who you are, and what you're about. And I really hope this video could help you just learn how to navigate through the event world when you get invited as an influencer, what you should do, and how you should value yourself. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. Yes, sis, because today, I left wanting to punch a bag or something. I was so irritated. I felt so undermined. I felt terrible, and I really felt like I could have been doing work instead of being there. And that's the worst thing to feel like you're wasting your time when you could have been doing something more valuable. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of The Lion Show, and I hope we can have way more, like 100 times more conversations, chats about the things that affect us in our businesses and marketing and just personally, because it's important for us to share these experiences as entrepreneurs. It feels like a lonely world, but it doesn't have to be. We can all talk to each other and share our ideas and our opinions. So please don't forget to subscribe down there. I've always wanted to say that. Subscribe. Listen to the Lessons with Lion podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify. Where else are we? iTunes. Everywhere we are, we are where you are. So please listen listen, please tune in and share this video if you liked it with anyone that you know. And I can't wait to see you same time, same place, this time next week. I know I'm saying a lot, but I can't wait to see you next week, same time, same place, where we're talking more entrepreneurship, marketing, and heart-to-heart conversations with me, Lebo Lion. Yeah, I don't know how to end this. How do people end videos? I think I'll just say, love you lots from me, Lebo Lion. Am I swearing at you guys right now? Yeah, but I really do love you guys lots. I hope you have an amazing month, an amazing week, and that you conquer everything that you set your heart out to conquer. Until we meet again, subscribe, listen to the podcast. I'm your host, Lebo Lion, and this is The Lion Show.
Let me learn you something. Let me learn you something. Come here, let me learn you something. 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 Come here, let me learn you something.